All right, so come onto your backs. You can have the feet flat on the floor. You can have the hands down by your side. Let's close the eyes. And I always like to start with some breathings and some centering. So just close the eyes. Just take a moment to tune in with your body. See how you're feeling. Relax the shoulders. Relax the muscles of the face. And just start to be aware of your breath. Slow down your breathing. Breathing into the belly. In and out through the nose. So just take a moment to do some nice, long, deep breaths at your own pace. In through the nose. And out through the nose. So just breathing naturally, but gradually lengthening the inhale, lengthening the exhale. So make sure your belly is actually moving. It might help to bring your hands onto your belly just to make sure that you're actually breathing into your belly. Some of us breathe very shallow in our upper chest, and we want to make sure we're doing deep belly breaths or diaphragmatic breathing. So just take a moment, bring your hands onto your belly, and just see if your belly moves as you inhale and exhale. So it's important for us to kind of know our patterns, know how we breathe. So just breathing into the belly. And then starting to now become aware of those core muscles. As you exhale, I want you to really engage the core muscles, pull the belly button in, letting all the air out. So as you exhale, start to pull the belly in, engage those core muscles, and just continue like that a few times. So inhale into the belly, let it expand. Exhaling, pulling the belly button to spine, pressing all the air out. And you might find that you naturally press the lower back into the floor here as you engage your core muscles. So just continue like that, pulling the belly in, gently pressing the lower back into the floor as you exhale. Let's do that a few more times. So we're just getting in touch with those core muscles. And core muscles are not just the front of our body, but the back body also, back side, all those muscles that make up our torso, really. But we're talking about our lower core, not our chest and shoulders today. All right, so let's bring the hands down by your side now. We're gonna just start with pelvic tilts, again, to get in touch with those core muscles. So just become aware of your hip bones. If it helps you, you can bring your fingers onto the hip bones and just feel where they are. And on your inhale, you're gonna move your hip bones away. So you're gonna allow your back to arch a little bit more than normal. So the lower back lifts up. On your exhale, press the lower back into the floor. You'll feel your hip bones moving towards you. So we're going back and forth, rocking the pelvis forward and back. So inhale, pelvis moves away, arching the lower back slightly. It's not a big movement. Exhale, pressing the lower back into the floor. So just keep going a few times like this, rocking the pelvis gently forward and back. See how it feels. So when you do physical therapy for your back, at least when I did it, this was the first thing they started with to help you to really engage those core muscles, know where they are. Let's do one more. So we're arching and then pressing the lower back into the floor. And then coming back to a neutral spine. So neutral spine, there is a slight arch under the back, but not super pronounced because we know there's a natural arch there. All right, so bringing the hands down, we're going to get started by bringing the balls of the feet to the floor, and you're going to engage the core muscles now. Press the lower back down into the floor. So when we do a lot of these Pilates exercises, you want to be pressing the lower back into the floor, and then you're going to lift your feet off the floor so that your knees are right over your hips. So knees over your hips. Knees are bent at 90 degrees. I guess this is reclined tabletop. So really start to feel those core muscles engaged. Chin is slightly tucked in. You can point the toes. So we're just going to start with our simple toe taps. And we're tapping the right toe to the floor, bringing it back up. Tapping the left to the floor, bringing it back up. Keeping the lower back pressing into the floor as much as you can. Just keep tapping, go at your own pace. Just strengthening those lower ab muscles, which are really important for our back and our spine. Keep going. We're going to do 10 more. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bring the knees into the chest now. Hug the knees in. You can rock side to side. And anytime you need to stretch the lower back, this is a good lower back stretch. Just bring the knees in. Circle the knees around a few times. Take time with yourself if you have lower back discomfort or pain. So this is kind of the little break in between exercises for the lower back. All right, coming back to that same position, bring the knees over the hips. So this time we're stretching the arms out overhead. We're going to do dead bug. So again for the lower back, for the entire spine really. So we're going to move opposite hand and foot. So the right foot taps, the left hand goes back. Doesn't touch the floor, just reaches back. Everything comes back together. Left foot taps, right arm goes back, everything comes back together. If it's too much to add the arms, just repeat the legs alone, tapping and coming back together. So opposite hand to leg, looking good everybody. Pressing the lower back into the floor. And you can keep the knees bent. If you want more of a challenge, you could straighten the knees a little bit more. Do the same movement, but with the knees slightly straighter, depending on how strong you are. Keep going. We're doing 10 more. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hopefully you're feeling that lower back working, and 1. Come back to that same position. Bring the knees into the chest. Again, hug them in, rock side to side, circle them around. Whatever feels good to you guys, whatever little stretch you need in between. All right. Remember to breathe. All right, one more here. Again, bring the hands down by your side, back to that reclined tabletop. So the knees over the hips, bend the knees 45 degrees. Pull the belly into the spine. And all we're doing here is stretching out the right leg. So it's about maybe at 60 degrees and bringing it in. Stretching out the left leg, bringing it in. Stretching out the right, bringing it in. Go at your own pace. Stretch it out, but slow and controlled. Bring it in. Keep going. Bring it in. Rest if you need to rest. Looking good. Let's do 10 more. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Hug the knees in. Let's open the arms out to a T. Let's take a little stretch here. So inhale, exhale, both knees to the right. Just slowly let both knees come down to the floor, stretching the spine, twisting. You can keep the head looking straight up, or you can turn the head to the left if that's okay for your neck. Staying here, just a few breaths to stretch out those muscles. 2 more breaths. 1 more. And then slowly bring the knees back into the chest. 1 more time. Inhale, exhale, both knees to the other side. So twisting to the other side. Again, take your time getting into it. Relax the shoulders. Breathe. 2 more breaths. Beautiful. All right, well, we're not getting too relaxed, so bring the knees back to the chest. Slowly turn over now onto your right side. We're coming up to seated. So if you need to sit up on something, get your blanket, get your block, get your cushion. We're coming to a cross-legged seated position. Those of us with tight hips like myself, I really encourage you to sit up on something, sitting on the edge of a block, edge of a cushion, edge of blankets. You can have the feet out in front of you or cross the ankles.